I found this story odd.
Uh-oh.
ESPN went through 1,400 pages of unredacted federal documents from a DEA investigation of a performance-enhancing drug operation that took place a decade ago in and around Miami. Do you remember the biogenesis scandal? A number of names were found that had not been reported until now. One was a prominent trainer of athletes, David Alexander, who had trained LeBron James and was partners in a Miami business venture with LeBron's wife, Savannah. The other was a very important member of LeBron's inner circle, his business manager and his long friend, Randy Mims. Never any indication that LeBron did anything wrong. The investigation concluded that Randy Mims purchased testosterone and metabolism-boosting injections for just personal use, presumably to aid in his weight loss. Mims was never charged with any crime, targeted in any investigation. Alexander also trained LeBron's wife, but investigators said they found no evidence Alexander provided any supplements to her or to LeBron. So, Keyshawn, what's your reaction to all of the above?
Well, I feel, number one, I feel bad for LeBron and his family. Okay, his wife, Savannah, I feel bad for them because even though nothing was found and investigators cleared their names of any wrongdoing whatsoever, their name is in the report. In the report.
Yep.
And you know, and I know how society is and how people think. The fact that your name is in something, people start to try and poke holes in stuff, and it just,
conspiracy theories.
It's unfortunate because clearly nothing was found. Yeah, his business manager worked with this individual. His trainer worked with this individual. Had nothing to do with him, but birds of a feather flock together in people's minds.
Yeah.
And people will try and correlate the two. You know, just the world we live in, the internet, the social media, they're going to do all that. And it's unfortunate that he will probably have to go through this and for some period of time where people are going to try to link him regardless. Just regardless. Even if his name wasn't in a report and he was in the car with the individual who was supposedly the doctor doing it, people would say, why is he with him?
Yeah.
He must be doing something. He would get caught up in all of that.
I got it.
And I know he's sick as a dog that his family name is being drugged through the mud on something he has nothing to do with. See, it doesn't change my view of who he is at all.
I understand.
At all whatsoever. But I know that there are people out there that dislike him for a number of reasons that will now say, ha, this is how you play to your 38.
See?
I don't care what they say. This is how you play to your 40. This is why he's scoring 30 points, averaging 30 at this age. They're going to do it. And he knows that.
Okay, before I speak, I'm going to reiterate.
Jordan couldn't make it all the way there
that
because he didn't take
the
PEDs.
investigators told ESPN absolutely no connection was found between LeBron and what was going on with biogenesis, just for the record. So there is nothing to this whatsoever.
Nothing
Now,
except the
big
story
picture.
we're about to talk about.
I sit back and I stroke my chin and I think about this and I say, if nothing else, it is a bad look for LeBron. Because you know Randy Mims, I think. Have you been around him at all? Or
Don't know him.
Oh, you don't know him. Okay,
No,
I thought.
you're not putting me with him.
Okay, well, I'm not trying to associate. But Randy Mims is a cornerstone of that group. He is the right-hand man to LeBron James.
I understand.
He is hands-on on a daily basis in ways that Rich Paul and Maverick are not. This is day-to-day. He is on top of every little thing with LeBron James. So my point to you is, Randy Mims obviously is well taken care of by LeBron, so he's got some money, I assume. So why would he have to resort to going to a questionable source that eventually would be linked to biogenesis to get testosterone and whatever metabolism-enhancing injections that he needs, even if he's just doing it for his personal weight loss, and that can help in weight loss? Why not just go in Miami? You know Miami. I lived in Miami. There are wellness centers like on every other corner. You got aging people down there, and they go to the wellness centers because you can go to a real live doctor, a qualified doctor, and you can get a prescription for testosterone or whatever you want. You can do it above board. You can do it through the proper channel. You can do it the right way. Why would you resort to dealing with a shady character, a very questionable character, who finally gets caught up in this biogenesis scandal because you don't need to deal with that guy? Are you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you 100%.
You can just do it the right way.
I'm with you 100%, but maybe he thought he was doing it the right way. I don't know. I know Randy enough to know that.
So you do know Randy.
I do know him enough, but I don't. I was. Yeah. When you think about it, I understand what you're saying, Skip. Who they trust, who they have business with, was also in dealings at the same time with the biogenesis. So you connected, and you say,
reportedly that's the case.
Reportedly that's the case. So you got one dot over here, the other dot over here, the other dot over here is all connecting, and you say it's just like me and you. If you and I come to you and I say, hey, Skip, that guy who's selling the watches that you deal with, what do you think? You say, yeah, I get them for this amount of money, and they're nice, and they're all on board, and everything's good, and they signed. Okay, I'm going to use your guy. Come to find out, he's wanted in Australia for bank robbery or something.
Exactly.
That's how these things go. That's how they go.
Okay. I'm with you on the trainer because LeBron used him for a while. Savannah used him for a while to train. Who knows? Then later it came out that he was connected through.
And they were in business with him.
Okay, she was. She was. Okay, I got no issue with that because I think it came after the fact, as you point out, that he, quote unquote, robbed a bank in Australia, right? Okay. All right. I also want to point out there were rampant reports. This is way back in 2013 when all this hit the fan, the biogenesis, that there was an assistant who worked at Biogenesis who said that every month a man named Mr. Paul came by to pick up a PED order for a player with the initials LJ. And obviously, Rich Paul is LeBron's longtime agent and runs, obviously, Clutch Sports. And so people were connecting the dots with no proof whatsoever that, wait a second, could this be Rich Paul picking up for LJ as in LeBron James? Reports were rampant. This was 2013. He's obviously with the Miami Heat. And yet, nothing ever came of it. And I will say this. I know a whole lot of people around the NBA. I've been doing this for a long time. Not once have I ever heard a whisper from an insider about, you got to watch LeBron because he's this and that and this and that. In 2013, because I have covered so much scandal with PEDs through baseball and football, that I sat back and thought, well, does LeBron look the part? Well, sure he does, because he's got the great physique, and his durability has been all-time. And so you do connect dots at that point and say, was it possible he resorted to? It's possible, but again, I would tell you if I'd heard a peep about this, I've not heard a whisper about this. So it's only surprising to me
if you heard a whisper about it, you know we would be hearing
to
about it.
Randy Mims, who is bedrock for LeBron, and by all accounts, everything I've ever heard about Randy Mims is he is the heart and soul of that operation. You know, that team, he is the guts of that team. So I have nothing but the highest regard for him, as I also do for Maverick, who basically has run Wall Street and Hollywood at the same time. What he's done is phenomenal. What Rich Paul has broken through and done is phenomenal. Obviously, what LeBron has achieved is phenomenal. But my point is, their team, you want to talk about teamwork, greatness? You want to talk, how blessed, you know this for a fact, how blessed was LeBron to have those three around him all the way up, where you can trust them?
Absolutely.
And this is the only tiny indication of, well, wait a second, maybe the most crucial member of your team, your right-hand man, why would he resort to dealing with this source to get testosterone? You see what I mean?
Again, though, Skip, sometimes people get misinformation about individuals that they may be dealing with. And maybe that's the case in Randy's case. Maybe the information that he was given was totally different than what it is.
Yeah, and maybe he looks back now like, what was I thinking? I didn't know better.
Of course he looks back now and say, what was I thinking?
Right.
But the key thing for me in all of it is what the feds are saying. The feds say ain't nothing to do with it. So I'm good.
And they're adamant about it.
And they're adamant about it. I'm good.
Right.
I'm good. If the feds ain't got nothing to do with it, I'm good. LeBron ain't got nothing to do with his wife. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Then you're making the point. It's sad that LeBron's having to go through this,
Yes.
but I don't think he's going to have to go through this very long because I think this story is going to come and go, just the way it did with the Mr. Paul and LJ thing back in 2013. It will come and it will go because there's no connection to LeBron. And again, I think it's fair game for us to discuss.
But the world is different now than 2013.
Well, maybe
the world is different now.
Yeah.
You know,
the
internet, the social media world from 2013 to where we are now has grown.
Okay,
so
I watched carefully last night.
No, I understand, but there's bugs that's out there.
Sure.
And those bugs, they looking to destroy something.
No.
That's just how it is.
Hey, I can speak to that.
He's at the top of the mountain.
Yep.
So they are certainly not going to just go away. They're going to try to lay their traps down. They're going to try everything they can to discredit this young man and his family about who he is, what he stands for, all of those things.
Okay, but as they always say, truth is the best defense.
Absolutely.
And yet I watched carefully, monitored last night. Is this going to trend on Twitter? Nope. Did the story catch fire? Not really. Did it get some wheels? Did it get some legs? No, I don't think so. Again, I'm happy that we're talking through it, but I'm exonerating LeBron at this point because we got nothing.
I don't even know why this is a segment, to be honest.
One thing that I despise,
like if it wasn't anything, then why is it something right now? I mean, these guys are giving life to it.
Get an edge, and that's just pure.
I'm surprised Keyshawn didn't say that.
I can't say it on the air, but that's just a pure brother. That's all that is. He work out. He's a phenomenon. That's who he is. He's a freak of nature. He comes from a whole nother planet. That's all he is.
And through your time actively playing football, how much PED did you see? What did you see around you?
Man, I to be honest with you, I didn't pay attention to it, but I knew. You know, I just know some dudes, Skip, come on. You look like that one day and then you look like this the next.
Agreed.
You got drafted in the 7th round, but you the starting guy over here who's going to all these Pro Bowls. Your arms are as big as pillars. I mean, like, come on, right? I mean, you're picking up cars and pulling
credit to anybody who works hard.
I know what that is, but it ain't my business.
No, you don't know what that is. All you're saying right there, Keyshawn, is if somebody comes out who's stronger than I thought they were going to be, they must be using steroids.
So
that doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
Like they could have just imagine a world where they go and they work out all the time.
And I was right in the middle of that in my days in the Bay Area. I covered Barry Bonds. I was in awe of Barry Bonds' baseball talent because I think he was the greatest hitter ever. But obviously, it's pretty clear that he came late to the baseball steroid party, but he came.
But he didn't need to.
Well, he could argue because he went from 49 homers to 73, but 49 is pretty great.
He's one of the greatest baseball players ever.
No, he's the greatest hitter.
And didn't need to.
And
he
by
was
the way,
still ridiculous and didn't need to.
Well, he'd already won 8 Gold Gloves, so something was really good.
But when you are chasing something and you see somebody else,
he had to live through.
Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame.
Looking at that, he go, man, I ain't just about to let them. I'm not about to just let them go.
I never understood baseball and
PEDs.
PEDs.
I need to get involved.
You still need.
Because you saw.
Let me rewind there. You clearly shouldn't be able to take them, but I don't think they're nearly as big of a deal as people make them out to be. I think in baseball specifically, you still need to have an unbelievable swing, hand-eye contact.
230, 240.
You need all the right fundamentals to still make a baseball go out. What's the difference between 450 feet and 500 feet?
In the athletic side, the athletes, I have issues with Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds and Sammy and all those guys that sat up there and said that they didn't, and they just like, come on, man. Like, who do you take me to be? You did it. Just cop to it and let's keep it moving. But I can't even think of the pitcher from the Yankees at the time. Andy Pettitte.
Yeah.
Andy Pettitte, he kind of copped to it. So I'm like, okay, at least he admitted
to HGH.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. He admitted to HGH. And so now I'm sitting back, I'm like, okay, at least he admitted to it.
He was recovering from injury. Yeah.
I could at least give him some sort of leeway.
That's good.
But when you're sitting up there and you're trying to make me seem like I'm a damn fool, when I know better, that's when it's a problem.
Yeah, well, I had a problem with baseball in general because they looked the other way for so long, and it ran amok. And I couldn't condemn Barry, even though he did, to me, break the rules,
obviously.
It's
so interesting because even in his biogenesis report, baseball was paying all this money to keep people protected, and that was just weird.
Yeah, well, Okay, and yet Barry said, well, watch what I can do. And did he ever? Because, again, he was capable with no help of hitting 49. Yeah. But if you give him some help, some extra help, 73, I've never seen anything like it before.
Well, they're fathers.
Hey, what could you have done? You could have been Michael Irvin.
I could have done anything because I had the quarterbacks.
That's true. Maybe your quarterback needed to use something, right? Okay,
Jeez.
Enough about that. Onward and upward. Does Aaron Rodgers want to continue to play football?
I hope so. You can't go out like that.
And we hear from you next.
You can't go out like that.
On
it's too bad.
#Undisputed Live.